First year build, we're running Destro Sword and Board, and I'll explain why I'm running Sword and Board here in just a second, but I will go into further detail as to why I'm running Sword and Board closer at the end of the video. Anyways guys, let's go and get straight into the build. Stats: unbuffed, 43.3k Magicka, 16k health, 11k stamina, 1600 Magicka recovery, 2k spell damage, 36k spell crit, and the resistances are kind of low. Crit resistance is pretty low, but it should be lower once I have the right traits with 9.2k spell pen. We are running the mage with Ghastly Eyeball. So yes, 16k health is our base health stat. Will be a little higher once you get 2 out of 2 Undaunted. I only have 1 out of 2. Backbar stats: 46k Magicka, 16k health, 1600 Magicka recovery, lower spell damage, lower spell crit. Yes, it's pretty much the same. If you guys care about the extra resistances, there they are, a bunch of zeros. Stats buffed: crit surge, 2400 spell damage. With the light attack proc, we'll be at about 2900. If you decide to go with 3 spell damage instead of just 2, you will be at about 3k, maybe 3.1k spell damage with the light attack buff. With 45k Magicka on the front bar with Necro proc. That is absolutely insane damage. Alright guys, set 2 pieces Engine Guardian. Why are we running this for sustain? That is exactly why we don't need to run Lich and why we can afford to run such really low Magicka recovery. There's another huge reason why we can afford to run really low Magicka recovery on a MagSorc, and I'll get to that here in a minute. Helmet should be infused, shoulders should be divines. 5 Necro, 2 in the body. It is very important that your heavy pieces, or that your big pieces are infused. Helmet, chest, and legs. Very important that those are infused. Get the most out of this build. I got these 2 pieces right here. Sash should be divines. And then 3 pieces. The jewelry, 2 spell damage, 1 Magicka recovery. Second set, Axiom. We got 2 pieces light. We got shoes light, gloves light, both divines, and then medium legs infused. Why do we have medium legs? To get the most out of the Undaunted passive. If you don't have the Undaunted passive, you might as well go 7 with 7 light. With 7 light, you will have a little higher Magicka recovery, but you will not have as much maximum Magicka. If you have the 2 out of 2 passives, you will have more Magicka than I do. And then we have a Inferno Staff, Axiom, Nernhound with weapon damage enchantment. 348 spell and weapon damage for 5 seconds. Pretty much, I'd say every 2 to 3 light attacks is when it would proc after the 5-second cooldown. Third set will be Willpower, Sword and Board with poisons. Now, why are we running Sword and Board? 3 huge reasons. Reason number 1, while we're running Willpower, first of all, is for the 2 pieces of maximum Magicka. So this is our shield bar. When we proc our Engine Guardian, see if we can try to get it to proc here soon. If it doesn't proc soon, guys, I'll just tell you guys what the Magicka stats are, and I guess you'll just have to believe me. Yeah, it's not wanting to proc right now for whatever reason. Anyways, Magicka on the back bar is 50k. Magicka on the front bar will be 45, almost 46k. So, that is why we're running 2 pieces Willpower for 1400 more Magicka. Now, why are we not running Resto? Because Resto is not considered a 2-piece. Because with Sword and Shield, we also get a shield that we can make infused with maximum Magicka for 1041 more Magicka. So, if we ran Resto, we would not have the extra 1041 Magicka. And we can be at 46k Magicka unbuffed if you have the 2 out of 2 Undaunted passives, and if I had these 2 divines with the helmet infused. So I am missing out on a decent little amount of Magicka right there, but that is perfectly fine. And then while we're running the damage Magicka poisons for whenever we do a heavy attack with Sword and Board, we have that chance to give our victims the 30% increased Magicka and stamina cost, which is very helpful on our end. Now, why are we running Sword and Board? For the biggest reason, see our Magicka recovery 1600, and if you decide to go with 3 spell damage instead of 1 Magicka recovery, you will be even lower. And then if we're ever really low on Magicka and stamina, LOS, get a heavy attack in, with our champion points, we get about 3k stamina per heavy attack. Then you can start conversion up. Infinite Magicka, infinite stamina. You can heavy attack all day. Oh, there we go, there's the engine proc. As you guys can see, 49.3k. If you had the right passives and traits, that would be 50k. And then 46, almost 47k on the front bar, which is absolutely ridiculous. With 3.1k spell damage if you go with 3 spell damage. 2.9k if you only have 2 spell damage like I do, fully buffed, which is just absolutely insane stats. Crystal Frag's tooltip with the light attack proc goes up to about 18.2k. And then with 3 spell damage, I would imagine you would be a lot higher than 18.2k, which is already an extremely high Crystal Frag proc. Alright, tooltip, my bad. Back, yeah. The 17.2k with just the Necro, which is insane. Alright guys, let's see what else. Sets. Oh no, we already did sets. Skills. Yeah, Endless Fury, Rune Cage, Force Pulse, Sea Frags, Haunting Curse, Meteor. You're going to want to morph Meteor to Ice Comet once you have it. Power Back Bar, Power Surge, Harness Magicka, Hardened Ward, Dark Conversion, Streak, and Energy Overload. Overload Bar. We're running Overload specifically for Daedric Minefield and Boundless Storm. Boundless Storm, just so we pretty much have the speed and mobility. We don't really use this bar for anything else other than those two. Because once we pop what we need, bar swap. Now, why do we run Daedric Mines? For whenever we get in a sticky situation, if you need to, find the side of a cliff. That's where MagSorcs excel best. Pop your mines. The second your target hits your mines, that's when you want to just completely go balls deep with your burst and just explode the shit out of them. Alright, so that's it for skills. Let's go into champion points. 82 Warlord. I'm just going to zoom through this, guys. 66 Arcanus, 56 Tenacity. 45 Tumbling, 1 Shadow Ward. You can put that 1 point anywhere where you really want to. 57 Elfborn, 65 Ellie, 56 Spell Erosion, 72 Master at Arms. It is very important you go 65 Ellie and 72 Master at Arms, as that is the best way you can scale your tooltips for your Crystal Frags pretty much. 72 Ironclad, 31 Resistant, 30 Hardy, 30 Ellie, 15 Thick Skin, 72 Bastion. Now why do we not have 100 points in the Bastion? 100 points will only give us 2% more, 2% stronger damage shields, where 72 points, first of all, it saves us a shit ton of CP. Second of all, it's not really worth losing a shit ton of CP for only 2% stronger shields. So with all that extra champion points, we're able to afford to put them into skills like Hardy, Ellie Defender, Ironclad, Resistant, Thick Skin, whatever. Alright guys, that's pretty much it for the basics of the video. Now if you're wanting to stick around to kind of hear why I run the sets that I do run over the meta of like Destroy Resto and Lich and Chakra Breaker, or Lich and Necro with whatever the meta monster set is, like 1 Groth, 1 Dami or whatever. Alright guys. Why do we run Necro? First of all, we're a full max Magicka build. We rely fully on shields. Necro will be the best set for our maximum Magicka pull. So we are running that. Our Engine Guardian procs are Necropotence, and in combat, as long as we're constantly using skills, it will proc all of the time. Perfectly fine. 2-piece Engine Guardian for the sustain and for the Necro proc. Without Engine Guardian, we could not afford to run really low Magicka recovery. 5 Axiom. Now, why do we run Axiom instead of Lich? First of all, we still need damage. If we ran Lich, we wouldn't have shit for damage with this build. Also, Axiom gives us maximum Magicka and maximum stamina. Without that max stamina, we would be at 9.5k maximum stamina. I've tested this. I've tried it with War Maiden and whatever. We are at 9.5k stamina, which is just way too low for a Magicka tune. So with Axiom, we are able to have 11.1k stamina. Also, we get spell crit and weapon crit, but we don't really need the weapon crit. Adds 386 spell and weapon damage to your class abilities. If you had everything golded out, it would be 400. So, that being said, Endless Fury is procced, Rune Cage is procced, Crystal Frags is procced, and Haunting Curse is procced. The only 2 things that aren't procced for our damage would be Force Pulse and Ice Comet. That is perfectly fine. And then, already pretty much explained why we're running Willpower instead of Axiom in the back bar. Because first of all, Axiom back bar would be complete useless, as we don't really deal damage in the back bar. And willpower gives us really huge maximum Magicka pulls. Certain board gives us even a bigger maximum Magicka pull and really good stam sustain. If you're on resto, you would fully rely off of stamina coming from Engine Guardian, which is still only a 1 in 3 chance that you would get that stamina proc, which just really isn't worth it, especially if you're having to constantly roll dodge, block, or break free. And having that sword on board, a heavy attack to get stamina back is very, very important, as well as having pretty much infinite dart conversions. This build is not meant for dueling whatsoever. If you try to duel with this build, you'll be lucky if you even beat a half good player. This build is purely for 1vxing, duos, trios, 4-mans, zerging if you zerg, whatever. This build is not meant for dueling. If you're going to duel with this build, what would be a good dueling build? You would throw on a Ice Staff of Willpower back bar instead of Sword and Board. Then you would throw on Elemental Drain over Dart Conversion, and then you would also throw Destructive Reach over Streak. Now, why Destructive Reach for a dueling build? With the Ice Staff, it will immobilize them, allowing you to get distance on pretty much any melee tune and have the upper advantage on them. That's pretty much it for dueling. That's the only difference. But there is a huge difference between running Sword and Board and Destro for dueling. That is why the Sword and Board option is not viable whatsoever for dueling. Also for dueling, I'd probably recommend taking off Engine Guardian, and then if you have extra Necro Jewelry, I'd probably run 2 Magicka recoveries and 1 spell damage. Then for monster sets, I'd probably go 1 Dami, 1 Grothdar for a higher Magicka pull, which will equal for higher damage. And also Dami for more stamina sustain. Alright guys, quickly going to the passives. Why we're running Inferno instead of Lightning like most Sorcs run Lightning, which I have no fucking idea why they run Lightning. Ancient Knowledge, Flame Staff increases your damage on single target abilities by 8%. It is kind of common sense that you would use an Inferno Staff, as every single one of our skills is single target. So all of these are buffed by 8% with a Flame Staff. The Lightning Staff, it only increases your AoE damage, which is complete utterly bullshit and useless on a Magicka Sorc if you are not a Zergling. Resto Staff doesn't matter because we don't run Resto Staff. Armor, we have all the light armor passives, all the heavy armor passives that do not require 5 pieces or more. Medium armor, only passives you will want would be athletics for the reduce the cost of roll dodge by 2% for each piece of medium armor, and that will be 4% if you have medium armor at 50. Guild, we have the last 2 Mages Guild passes. You don't need Might of the Guild, as it is complete utterly bullshit and useless now ever since they nerfed how Empower works. But whenever you cast Ice Comet, having that extra little damage for light attack from a light attack into a Sea Frag or light attack into Force Pulse will give us more damage. Magicka Control for more maximum Magicka and Magicka Recovery on the front bar. Daunted, 1 out of 2 on Daunted Metal, you're going to want 2 out of 2 for that. Alliance, 2 out of 2 continuous attack, 2 out of 2 combat frenzy. Speaking of continuous attack, you will have a lot higher spell and weapon damage if you get you capture a resource or whatever. So with this build, once you capture a resource, this is where this build excels. For the first for 10 minutes, you will have 10% more spell damage and 20% more Magicka recovery, which is absolutely amazing. You are a high elf. You're going to want all of your class passives, obviously. Dark Summoning, you're not really going to need any of these, as we don't really run any pets. Only ones that you would need would be Power Stone, Daedric Protection if you really want to, for the extra bit of stamina recovery, but you don't really need it. And Expert Hunter, yeah, you can run Expert Hunter if you want to for 8% more max health, but max health you don't really care for with this build. Obviously, you're going to want all of your Storm Calling passives. Alright guys, that's pretty much the end of this video. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to put it down in the comment section below, and I'll get to you as fast as I possibly can. If you guys like this build, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know on how you guys like this build, what you think I could change to make it better, or just let me know your guys' opinion. However, I probably will not change this build, as I have found this build to work out perfect for my kind of playstyle. I do a lot of soloing and a lot of duos with Soko or Malamar. Anyways guys, I will catch you guys later on the next build video. Take it easy.